It's hard to put into words what I've been through, but I'll try. My name is Rei Kurosawa, and I'm a photographer, though these days that title feels like a distant memory. It all began after I lost Yu, my fiancé. He was an anthropologist, always so fascinated by the mysteries of the past. But one day, a tragic accident took him away from me. I've never been the same since. I thought I saw him one day, while I was working, taking photos of an old eerie manor. I could have sworn it was you, standing there in the shadows just out of reach. I was desperate, so I followed him. But that decision, it led me down a path I could have never imagined. The manor wasn't just a building, it was a cursed place, steeped in sorrow and suffering. They call it the Manor of Sleep, where the dead and the living are intertwined in a cruel, unending nightmare. The curse affects those who, like me, cannot let go of their grief. At night, in my dreams, I would find myself within its walls, haunted by the spirits of the dead. The most terrifying of them all was the tattooed priestess. She was a shrine maiden of the Ku's shrine, a place where unimaginable rituals were performed to keep a rift, a tear between our world and the afterlife, from spreading. The priestess's role was to absorb the pain and sorrow of others through a tattoo etched into her skin, with ink made from the blood of the living and the dead. The pain she endured was unimaginable, so much so that to keep her from suffering any longer, she was taken to a chamber of thorns, impaled into its walls, and sung to sleep, a sleep she was never meant to wake from. But Reika Yukishiro, the last priestess, couldn't let go of her love Kanami. Even as she was being impaled in that chamber, her heart remained tied to him. Kanami, against all the rules of the shrine, found a way to her. But when he did, he was killed right before her eyes. Reika's grief and rage were too much for the tattoos to contain, and the rift she was meant to keep sealed broke open, unleashing the curse that now haunts me. Every night, the manor called to me, drawing me deeper into its dark grasp. Miku, my dear friend, was pulled in too, trying to reunite with her brother, Mafuyu. But the further she followed him, the more lost she became. Eventually, she was too far gone, unable to wake from the dream. I tried to save her, but I failed. As I was losing hope, Yu's friend, Kei Amakura, came to me, seeking answers and a way to save his niece, Mio, who was also trapped in this nightmare. Kei believed that to stop the curse, we had to subdue Reika by impaling her once more with the tattooed stakes. He bravely ventured into the Chamber of Thorns, but something went terribly wrong. Reika broke free, and Kei... I found him the next morning, taken by the curse, like the others. I knew then that I had to finish this. I returned to the Chamber of Thorns, knowing it might be the end of me. Reika rose to confront me, her pain and anger overwhelming. But with the power of the camera obscura, I managed to defeat her. As she fell, she asked to finally be allowed to sleep. It was then that you appeared before me. The tattoos were spreading across my body, threatening to consume me, to pull me into the rift forever. I begged you to take me with him, telling him I couldn't go on without him. But he refused. He told me that if I died, he would be gone forever. But if I lived, a part of him would remain with me. And then, with one last loving act, he removed the tattoos from my skin, taking my burden with him as he crossed over to the other side. When I woke up, the storm had finally passed. The light streamed through the curtains, and for the first time in so long, I felt warmth on my skin. I looked down at my arm. The tattoos were gone. I brought it close, and I cried, not just for what I lost, but for the life I was still clinging to. Later, Miku and I stood by the beach, the waves gently lapping at the shore. She said she understood now why we were allowed to live, and I agreed. The pain might never fully go away, but I knew I had to keep living. For you, for Miku, and for myself. Kei was lost to the curse, and what became of Mio remains a mystery. But I will continue no matter how much it hurts, because that's what you wanted, for a part of him to live on, through me.